Flags are up. And there are. Jumping away, our final race of the afternoon, the Witton Farm Services Maiden Race, dropped in first orchid at the back end of the field. Racing away from fence number 1, Midnight Dragon shows the way by around about 2 lengths over Willielle, who's got quite warm in the preliminaries. That one running in second, with out a bit wider Loch Des as they're now making the approach to the second fence. And the leading few are being followed as they come to this one by up along the inside, Always and Ever. Now a right-handed turn back on into the home straight for the first time. Blackhill King is not too far off the speed either, in a maroon and green coloured jacket, with carting forwards here from the back of the field. First Orchid was the early back marker, but is now right up alongside the leaders and takes over. There was a mistake at the back end of the field from Boundary Flight, and I don't think it was the first mistake he'd made either. I think he gave one of the earlier fences a bit of a whack as well, as they now come up and over the middle one in the home straight again, less than fluent in rear there. Boundary Flight are just proceeding that one on the run to the next 11th day, and If You Have a Plan. So from last to first Orchid in the dark blue and pink colours took that fence narrowly in front, and they have now just over 2 circuits to travel. Midnight Dragon is racing in second, Loch Des is in third. Half a length back in fourth is Willielle over to the inside in the yellow colours, and being tracked through at the inner by Always and Ever, with out a bit wider on the track, Blackhill King in front of If You Have a Plan. And then as they reach this open ditch, the last couple to take it were Boundary Flight, who actually had a cut at that, attacked it and jumped it well, and has now relegated 11th day to be the overall back marker. Continuing their work, going away from us, and right-handed shortly off into the back straight and on towards fence number 7. And it is Midnight Dragon and John Dawson who shows in front here, the race favourite, half a length or so to the good. Over in second position, First Orchid, who's now settled down a bit better. And they're chased by Loch Des and Willielle over to the inside as they lift off at this playing fence, all landing safely, and now on towards their point of departure. So we won't see them take the next playing fence. They'll re-emerge on the landing side. It would appear that 11th day, Felix Foster already just niggling away on that one at the back end of the field. So racing away from the previous fence, and now on towards the last going down the back. It is First Orchid, up around the outside, and through along the inner, Midnight Dragon. So they now make the run to the last of the obstacles over in the back. First Orchid from Midnight Dragon, with back in third, as they come to jump this one. Loch Des up around the outside, although it is quite close for third at the moment as they're making the run back towards home. Get the impression that Loch Des wasn't all that fluent at that fence either. Certainly seems to have lost a length or so on both Willielle and Always and Ever, who's on the extreme left in the yellow cheek pieces. Over the next. And a bad blunder further down the pack there from Blackhill King. Christy Furness had to sit very tight indeed. Forced to the buckle end. Well down the field still, Boundary Flight, If You Have a Plan, and a little break to 11th day as they take the middle fence up the home straight. All landing safely in the field for the Witton Farm Services Maiden. Our closing race of the afternoon now approach the fence, which will be their last after another circuit of Witton Castle. All across it safely. Another mistake though made from Boundary Flight, whose jumping is not really standing the test at the moment, and out they go for one more lap. It is Midnight Dragon towards the inside, has always been handy, and shows up together with First Orchid, with Always and Ever under Ben Smoult now improving into third place. And Willielle over towards the inside as they come to tackle the open ditch for the final time today. Back in behind those at Loch Des, and If You Have a Plan from Boundary Flight. That earlier mistake seems to have got Blackhill King a little unsettled, and is now the last member of the leading group who remain well clear of the struggling 11th day. Less than a mile to go as they head off into the back for the final time. And it is Midnight Dragon under John Dawson who leads. Midnight Dragon by around about half a length or so. I'm just wondering if John's in a spot of difficulty, going around the turn. Indeed, I think he may be, and Midnight Dragon's being eased out of the race. Something went amiss on entering the back straight. 11th Day was also pulled up before jumping that, so Midnight Dragon and 11th Day have both been pulled up as the field now begins to thin out, making the journey over the next fence out of view, and shortly they'll be re-emerging with about 5 furlongs of their journey remaining, and it is now Always Endeavour who shows out in front. Always Endeavour by around about a neck, with improving through along the inside Blackhill King, who was a bit outpaced going off into the back straight, but reaching the end of it has now improved to come right alongside. 2.5 lengths back in third is Willielle. Then If You Have a Plan, as Always Endeavour and Blackhill King went over 4 out together, and they're now making the right-handed turn back for home. In third is Willielle, and then in fourth the Red Sleeves and Cappard If You Have a Plan as they corner, and they've now broken away from Loch Des, and as they reach the first fence in the home straight, the third from home, and the one who's dropped back to last place is First Orchid, who raced too exuberantly in the early stages. They've got 2 more fences left to get across, and on the right is Always Endeavour. In the centre, Blackhill King. Willielle on the left-hand side, barely a length in it between the trio, trying to catch them in fourth, but still with work to do. If You Have a Plan, they've got 1 more fence to jump now. It's a good finishing prospect. Always Endeavour to the near side of Willielle. Always Endeavour just in front to Willielle. Held now in third is Blackhill King as they race on the run in for home. Willielle is very game along the inside, gets up in the final few strides. Willielle won the finale. From Always Endeavour back in second, then Blackhill King, If You Have a Plan, and a little break off those to Loch Des. They were the only ones to finish.